buzz, I'm screwed.
We stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call meeting to order. Roll call.
Okay, Mayor Westergaard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Waltman. Reese.
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Toms.
Yes.
Okay, no public forum. Consent agenda. Any additions or corrections?
Now, just that I'd added these two bills, I wrote them on there, paying fuel for the Denny's bill and the Sparky's bill.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Waltman. Reese.
Yes.
Steinke.
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Toms.
Yes.
Okay, we have one building permit to approve. A motion to approve. So moved. Second.
Second.
You find one? Roll call.
Okay, Waltman.
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Toms.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Steinke.
Yes.
Open the public hearing on the proposed property tax levy. Any public input?
I've heard no public input.
Why is that? Why do we wanna do that? Lower them taxes and then raise the rates here in another 6 months or so? Don't you think it's better to keep the taxes up than to raise the rates on the sewer and water? People are so upset about that.
There's nothing pending on water and sewer, though, Terry. We're proposing to keep.
I know that this year, but if we could keep away from that instead, would probably be a better deal, but. I mean, they're used to paying 8.45, and was that gonna help that much, that 7.9?
About $20 a house maybe or something?
45, yeah,
But we-
45 cents per thousand. But
But by lowering it, we can still do all the projects and still have plenty of cash balance in the end.
Well, I'm more worried about having to raise the rates for the water and
Yeah,
sewer.
well, I won't foresee that, but
I'd say,
anything,
I can't ever tell you that it's not gonna happen, Terry, but it's not proposed.
You know?
we're well within the
I know
budget.
we said we wasn't gonna do that this year, but what's gonna happen next year?
Yeah.
We're gonna be very careful.
Yeah.
Wasn't this voted on already?
No, well,
Not officially.
there was an understanding about this, but this is the action on establishing the tax rate.
Okay.
Okay.
Although I'd say that, you know, this was the maximum tax rate that was published.
Yeah, it's okay.
We could not increase it tonight unless we reposted a notice again.
And it's already out in town, we're gonna lower them anyway.
Right. I'll make
But we
a
had a discussion about it.
We'll close the public hearing. Public hearing is closed. Now we're to resolution 2108. Setting that dollar value.
Yeah, this would approve the maximum property tax dollars.
That was your motion, Whitey?
Yep.
I have a motion on 2108. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Steinkamp.
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Toms.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Okay. We need to set the public hearing for the 2021 budget.
Yeah, just, you know, as we discussed our draft budget at that special council meeting for the budget, nothing has changed since then. And all the numbers will be the same then. So what we would need to do is go ahead and set March 15th as the date for the public hearing.
March
And
17th.
15 is,
The packet says 17.
it will be the 15th.
So we'll need a motion to set that March 15th as a public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Okay, Moeller.
Yes.
Steinkamp.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Waltman. Toms.
Yes.
Okay, we didn't get any housing development people here?
No, I tell you what, so the Housing and Development Authority has been working with, potentially the owners of some of these infill lots around town, and really thought that we would have a proposal to present to the council tonight about purchasing, one lot in town. It is not ready to be presented yet. We haven't reached agreement with the owner. So as of now, no action there, and they just would suggest the issue be tabled.
We'll just table it then. Okay, we need to consider a bid for the electric cable replacement we took the other day.
Yeah, so,
Good results.
So,
yeah, we got 4 bids on that, with a low bid of around $104,000, where our estimate was $130,000. Okay, so the low bid is this TD&I Cable Maintenance. They're out of Lakeland, Minnesota. Large firm. They run, he said they have about 12 or 15 boring machines that the crews run. Now they do a lot of communication work, but they also do a lot of work for electric utilities. Checked, got their reference list and checked a couple of them, including Waverly, and I did talk with Daryl from Waverly. Yep, everything was good. So anyway, would just recommend we go ahead and issue the low bidder.
Motion to approve the low bid.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Holtman,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Stankin,
Yes.
Moeller,
Yes.
Toms.
Yes.
Okay, we need to have an interim utility superintendent, somebody to
Yeah, I
take the
tell you,
sword for a
I've
while.
talked with Jeff about having an interim utility superintendent here, just that we would know that we have the person within the utilities who is responsible for operations, and that way when Jeff is giving orders to the staff, that they would follow through and do them, and he's able to rely that yep, he has not only the title but also has the backing of the city council then to make sure that this things would happen. I would propose that we hire Jeff as the interim utility superintendent, and suggest that during that time when Jeff is the interim superintendent, that his hourly wage would increase by $2.
You're okay with that?
Does Jeff have any comments?
I'm all right with that. So that quits after you hire somebody then, that pay?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Just keep in mind that when you do hire somebody, somebody's gotta train whoever lineman you come in and do that.
Sure.
Because if you don't hire another lineman or journeyman like Bill was, you still gotta have somebody train somebody. So keep that in mind.
We'll keep that open.
We may have to extend that time to a couple bucks.
I shouldn't have to do it for the same pay.
No.
No.
No, you shouldn't. But I thought, I have a question, I guess. I thought I was under the impression that Bill had not trained anybody in the administrative part of this position. So is that happening now, Jeff, or?
Not currently. As far
I mean,
as far as having an understanding of the administrative side of the electric utility, now I do have some working understanding of that, but we still do need to have a utilities superintendent who can really focus a lot of their times on that and know the ins and outs of the not only our electric system, but how we fit into the electric grid as a whole, which anymore that just becomes more and more complex. So.
And
Are you saying we're gonna try to hire someone with that experience? Or I mean, how is Jeff going? I mean, I know there's lots of other things for Jeff to train the new person in, you know, even if they're already in that kind of a position somewhere else. It's always different when you come to a different community, so there'll need to be some assistance from Jeff. But I'm kind of concerned about this administrative thing. So we're just gonna rely on you, Scott, to do that? I mean, I don't understand why Bill isn't teaching Jeff how to do this.
Because a lot of the day-to-day work doesn't involve a lot of day-to-day administration. So it will be filing of reports, and there's 3 or 4 different types of annual reports. It just doesn't roll around every day. We don't have to do any daily load forecasting anymore, and we would have had to do that, you know, a few years ago. We don't do that anymore. So a lot of the administration and the kind of the office work part of this is not something that's done daily. It's still, you know, still interacting with vendors and understanding the you know, the ordering process and making through and follow through on that, and that type of office work is still going to be there, as well as still, you know, we still want them to review power bills and that type of stuff, and make sure that those are correct.
So the work that's still gonna be there though, Scott, you're saying that you're able to do that in the interim, that part of it?
That we can either, that I can either do some of it, or it would just be that we'll learn amongst ourselves and muddle through and make it happen.
What, like Bill said, he spent so much time, I don't know, was it a day or a week in the office doing?
And he did, and a lot of that probably is interacting with vendors and doing project work.
But I'm thinking is, you know, if you had stuff that got turned in and had a part-time secretary, like to be able to do that kind of stuff, that somebody that could handle that. So it don't put the load on all these guys, you know, more. I don't know. I mean, it's just, you know, if you'd hire them, if it takes 4 hours a week or 4 hours, I don't know, what is the 4 hours? He told me 4 hours, but is it a week or a day or?
I always thought he'd mention like a day a week.
That's what
I would think.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
Usually Mondays were the days that he tried to come up here and try to, you know, because you do your workload through the rest of the week, so then Mondays he tries to tackle.
What I'm saying though, if you guys would keep track of stuff and be able to hand that to somebody to ledger it or whatever you had to do, you know.
You have to understand, Bill is pretty particular
Well,
about how he runs things, and he doesn't really give a lot of information on
Right.
that part of the workload.
Well, one of the things that's gonna be important though, when we do this hiring process, we need to make sure that whoever this individual is has some background of doing this.
mhm.
And I guess I'm to the point where, yeah, is this gonna be pretty for a while? When you lose a man that's been here 34 years,
Right.
there's a lot of knowledge there, I understand that, but we'll eventually catch up with our new, you know, and we'll just have to continue to work through it, and until that happens, until we get somebody hired, you know, my expectations of Jeff is to make sure we do the daily routine stuff, keep everything,
Outside stuff.
keep it all running the way it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Scott can work through helping out with whatever things, if we got certain things that's gotta come up, that's gotta be sent in, can do that. And as far as, looking at the bills and stuff like that, well, Scott can put his nose into it a little bit, just to do some spot checking. But I think that's where we gotta start first, is that we got, what are some of the things that concerns us? And as you get into it a little bit more, Scott, you'll understand the paperwork even more, and then can be transferred to the new guy. So I'm more worried about just the day-to-day operations right now, as to, and then Terry, if that idea of yours comes up that we're looking at, that we need that, then we can look at that.
Right.
Let's take this first step of
Right.
getting the right guy here at the right time.
Well, I didn't know, I just always remember Bill saying that take that 4 hours and then somebody has to do that.
Yeah,
And Jeff, I could see some transition time between this $2 an hour deal to being an open period for a while until we're comfortable with the transition. So,
A lot of our big project stuff has already been, like the landing on East Shore and the campground, that stuff is all taken care of by Bill. What's gotta be here,
Now, the landing, no.
well, we got the campground stuff.
Campground, as far as electrical stuff is here. The wire, the peds, that's here.
Well, I got great confidence in Jeff, he's been around Bill all the time he's
Yeah,
been here. I just don't think we'll have much trouble. Jeff, you know.
But,
think
and
you
it's
can do
not
it.
that I think we're gonna have trouble, I just want Jeff to have all the resources that he needs. And I don't want Bill to walk away with, you know, kind of leaving everything in a lurch. And I was just hoping that Jeff could get some training a little bit on some of this.
Well-
I don't know, I guess, so.
my feeling is that maybe that's what, that Scott should be spending some time and just see what his procedure is with the paperwork right now before he leaves. Focus on that part of it. And that way it could be, you can help the new guy out too. So I think that's what you
And
need.
we've had some discussion like about these annual reports that are filed,
Okay, well,
and those type of things.
then I would get as much information as you can before Bill leaves, and
and we could
There's
shorten up
substation
Scott's
readings that
vacation
are taken once a month
to
too.
maybe a day or so.
yeah, give it a day. Only if the weather gets above 75 degrees.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it'll be a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So I think Jeff, Jeff's been around, so that's a good thing, so I think we'll,
Yeah.
I'm not a bit worried about outside, I think that'll be your priority. Scott, that'll be your priority to work with.
we'll make it work.
Okay,
It'll be fine.
okay, good enough.
We need a motion to appoint Jeff at $2.
So, second.
I'll make it,
Roll call.
Okay, Steinkamp,
yes.
Waltman.
Yep.
Reese,
Yes.
Moeller,
Yes,
Thoms.
Yes,
Before we start, Jeff, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
I know it's a load.
You'll do fine, Jeff. I have confidence in you.
Okay, we have to have an agreement with Raccoon Valley.
Yeah,
Will backup help?
I guess, yeah, just I'd ask you never to forget that, we will be functioning now with one journeyman lineman, one electric line worker. And, even just for safety reasons, you don't even want your one person doing a lot of the things by themselves. So, about 3 things in the middle here. That, so Jeff, of course, will be the primary person in the electric utility, but Austin Steinkamp has some training and has gone to line school.
Austin Bruning.
Yeah. I was trying to think who you were talking about.
Well, I've been talking about
I got
it.
Austin all right.
Oh, there's Steinkamp's running all around.
No problem, I just
Thank you for that.
have to catch it.
So anyway, Austin does have, he's been to line school, and they've been trying to do a little bit of work and get him more accustomed into that. And when Jeff's looking at having a ground man, try to utilize Austin.
Okay.
So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is that the city of Wall Lake has indicated that they're able to help us. And they do have one journeyman lineman and another apprentice who's being trained. So if we get in a situation where we need some help and really need it quickly, we got that opportunity there too. But having access to potentially a big crew to address really big issues if they should happen to arise, that would be this 3rd thing with the agreement with Raccoon Valley. And so the agreement's in your packet there that says that Raccoon Valley would come help us in the event of natural disasters and to restore primary outages. So they're coming to help us with primary stuff, not secondary stuff. And then we would then reimburse them based on a time and materials repayment. Time is, I think, plus 10%, materials plus 30%. Plus, though, there would be a $1,500 a month, basically a retainer, an administrative fee for this to happen. The agreement is proposed for 90 days and would be this $1,500 fee per month. And I just strongly suggest that we would enter into this agreement.
Got one question. We have quite a few transformers on hand and poles and stuff like that, don't we, Jeff? I mean,
Yeah,
what about an event, let's say we have a transformer out, and we need to bring these guys in there. Does that mean they won't put our stuff up? Or-
We would like for them to use our stuff
So
first.
has that been made clear to them?
We talked about that, and let me clarify for sure.
I mean, we've got that kind of inventory sitting around.
yeah, it makes the most sense.
Yes, so I want that cleared up before, you know, I have no problem with doing this, but I just don't wanna be fighting over, well, how come we're not putting our stuff up?
Right, sure.
You know, cause that, you know, we are paying a premium, the $1,500 just for administration fee, so
Mhm.
I just wanna keep costs down as much as we possibly can, so. But we do need them, there's no doubt in my mind.
I think we'll still have to have the motion to sign the agreement, and we'll have Scott fix that up, make sure they use ours.
Yep,
As long as Jeff's there, I'm sure he's gonna make sure they use our
They're
stuff.
gonna want me there anyways.
Yeah, you're gonna be there anyway.
As far as loop feeding or any of that kind of stuff, you know, they're not gonna know that.
No,
Yeah, you can give them a map, and they can look at a map, but that's still not gonna tell them as fast as what I can.
No,
you'll have to be there.
you'll have to be, that's just a gray area I was just wondering about, so,
Yeah.
okay? So then, I'll make that motion with the, checking out with what the price or using our parts.
With the Raccoon Valley. For a second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Okay, Stankin.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yep.
Moeller.
Yes,
Toms.
Yes,
And it looks like Gunman Hips wants to pay more money for something that they should have done the first time, shouldn't they?
You thought this was gonna be a short meeting?
Yeah,
I got a lot to say about this.
I got no use for paying them for something that should have been done the first time.
That's-
$100.
It was one of the first things I said, that first thing I said was, is this a design flaw? It wasn't working properly, it wasn't, and they haven't showed us that they've got the problem fixed with this either.
No.
So I'm not for giving them a red cent for it. That's my opinion only, but
Just, yeah, the update on this is that, the other side of it is that the work's not finished yet as far as calibrating mainly the effluent flow meter. You know, we still have that issue between the influent, the effluent, don't read the same, and they know that the effluent flow meter's just wrong. It reads like 5 times more. And, so much so that as we talk with the DNR about this, we're just using our influent flows for plant operations. And the DNR is okay with this for the moment, but of course it has to all be attended to. So, they do need
so
to come.
how much of this is a design flaw? Because it would seem to me that more so than it being Grumman Hicks's problem, it's kind of a problem on the part of the engineering firm.
Yeah, they just really, they hang their hat on the notion that the flows into the old plant were always 200,000 and 300,000 gallons on the low end. And flows into the sewer plant, into the lagoon this year have sometimes been around 100,000. And that this low flow through the plant is causing virtually no overflow of what had been this very wide 4-foot weir. Okay, so again, you got a 4-foot weir, an ultrasonic meter on top, what that's doing is measuring the height of the water. That would only ever vary by just a small fraction of an inch. So it's just not reading in big enough increments that it could reliably do that. So he had a 4-foot wide weir with water flowing over the whole 4-foot wide section. Now what they've done is turn that into a 1-foot wide weir. So you figure out of that 1 foot now, you got 4 times the amount of water that's going over that section. Okay, so it keeps things flowing in there, addresses any potential concerns with freezing, because it froze once, but we've been able, even during this now very, very cold time, it's not freezing. And then also, then this should help to be able to work on that, the effluent flow metering then, because again, you got more flow going over this smaller section of the weir.
So that's an engineering problem, 4 foot to 1 foot, they don't know what to do?
Yeah, why is that not a design flaw?
Yeah.
Again, their explanation to me has always been that they hung their hat on the flows going into the old plant, which were significantly more than what the flow is going out to the lagoon, and then the rationale for that is drought. You know, that we're in this time of drought where the amount of groundwater is significantly less.
You know, it seems to me, you hire an engineering firm to figure all this out, that's what they're paid to do. They're to allow for droughts and excess rain years. I think Brenman Hicks gets, not that they haven't had their share of issues, but I think sometimes they're getting nailed for things that are clearly design failures. That's my opinion. And the engineering firm doesn't ever own up to anything.
Nope. It doesn't look like we're gonna pay them.
Because we don't have, first of all, there's no guarantee this is gonna fix.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know, I'm confused on here, this bond insurance 3%, what's that for?
Just an automatic adder onto a change order.
All right.
Same thing with the 15%. Yeah, they're entitled to add 15% of profit and overhead.
We paid for a working lagoon,
Yeah.
We haven't got it yet.
is what we're paying for. And I agree with everybody, this isn't making sense.
I think they've hit the wall, we're done paying, let's get this thing fixed.
Yeah,
That's right.
I don't care if Feenstra and Kim has to do it, or Grumman Hicks, somebody ought to
right,
clean
it
it up.
wasn't our design flaw.
That's my point.
I will have that discussion with the engineer.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's have an administrator report. You going on vacation what day?
Well, it's gonna be Thursday, is supposedly a vacation day, but
North Dakota Iowa League.
there's Northwest Iowa League on Thursday.
We got a meeting back there.
But we're going out to Evapco, so we are gonna give more of an update on the Evapco project then on Thursday afternoon. And they got some rough plans together that we'll start going over with them.
So Northwest Iowa's here? No?
It's in Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah, it's in Cherokee. At some coffee house downtown.
Yeah.
Thursday.
And, geez, that might be it.
That's it? Anybody have anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So we'll
Second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
I told you this would be a short one.
Guys.
Hey, you didn't even get a chance to say anything.
What?
You guys are great tonight.